Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas. And in this video we have recorded, it was actually recorded during our live stream that we do this last Tuesday. So, we do a live stream every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, when we go over scheduling information, dealer news updates, recalls, and usually have a topic of the week and some other things. But more importantly, we answer your questions live, the community's questions. So we usually have about a couple hundred people in there each week that are watching this live and asking us questions about their order or how they should order their vehicle and that kind of thing. And that's what we're here for, is to help you answer any questions. So if you want to join us live, and if you have any questions about scheduling, we can answer them live for you. Also, if you drop them down below, we'll try to get those responded as well. But feel free to come back next week. Again, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, if you want to join us live and ask your question, and we can answer your individual question if it hasn't been answered in the past. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video, and I hope to see you next week. All right, so let's get into scheduling. Of course, if you if you're watching this live with us, then go ahead and drop those comments down in the chat, and we'll answer those at the end of this section. If you are watching this recorded on a Wednesday, then go ahead and drop them down in the comments, and we'll try to respond to those and help you out. So doing a better job of that. Sometimes I've been like really delayed on responding to those, but I'm doing better. And yeah, we do have sun coming in on us, so that's why I'm in the spotlight right here. So, all right, let's get into this. First things we need to do is go up here and go through some of the terms and everything like we do every week. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is what we're talking about here, and this is about scheduling orders that are in the order bank for production dates. So the order bank is where a dealer places all stock and retail orders, whereas and those orders can be either a retail or a stock order. A retail order is a customer placed order. So that'd be what, if you're a customer, there you go. Stock orders are orders that are placed by the dealer for stock or lot inventory. So if they run out of allocations, or if they have allocations but they run out of retail orders, they put stock ones in there so they can continue to get fulfill their allocations for the month. Priority codes, that's a priority that's given by the dealers for their orders. 03, actually, that needs to be updated. 03 through 19 is now what you can put any retail orders in. And then 20 to 80 is stock. So the lower, the better. So that's why retails are always looked at first within the configuration. We'll get into that if I remember. Scheduling, that's when Ford schedules an order for production dates in future months. Usually happens on Thursdays of every week. And production dates, they go scheduled to the week or to the day, and that's when Ford plans to build your order. Sometimes those dates can shift and move around. Just be aware of that. Allocations, that's Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. Dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank. It doesn't matter if it's a retail or stock order. It's not going to get scheduled without an allocation. Just because there's a retail order in the order bank, Ford won't necessarily always give that dealer an allocation to fulfill that. That's the sad news about that. Dealer earns those allocations from their sales each month for each model within their region. So the region actually gets the allocations, and at that point, they, based on how they sell vehicles based on other dealerships within the region, that's how they're dictated, how they end up getting their allocations from that. And then if they have too much stock or too many vehicles in stock, they'll actually lose some of those allocations they earned because they already have vehicles to sell. Constraints, that is when an option might be in short supply or take longer to build because of the capacity. So capacity is a planned production rate for a given motor, trim, or option. So if something is low capacity, it could take a little longer if there's more orders that want that. We'll talk about that when we get to Super Duty. Job 1 and 2, production is run into 2 different jobs. They split that up because sometimes they want to introduce a new feature or a new trim. And instead of waiting till the next model year, they can then introduce it and halfway through the year as a job 2. And then balance out, that's the end of production or balancing out of an option too. We're going to actually talk about not only a vehicle that's balanced out, which is the Edge, but also there's an F-150 trim level that is balancing out as well. So there you go. All right. Sun's not any better. All right. So let's get started with the Mustang. All right. So Mustang, it is scheduling this. Actually, first, I do have numbers now. I did get a commodity report this week before the live stream. So there's currently 922 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Order banks are open up for all trim levels, including Dark Horse. I would talk to your dealer before placing a dark horse order and find out if they're going to have enough, if they're going to have an allocation for dark horse. All the specialties have special allocations for those, and dark horse, they're only giving dealers so many. We were getting 5 for a whole year and a half. I think we've already used 2 or 2 of those, and we don't know when we're going to get them each month. So it could be a little while to get it scheduled. So ask that of your dealer. They are scheduling this week. Main commitment here for the weeks of April 29th through May 27th. Limited availability for the tarnished, dark painted, low gloss alloy wheel. That's included in the Dark Horse handling package. So limited availability. Limited doesn't mean it won't schedule. It's just that it's just letting dealers know, hey, you know, this might be difficult to get scheduled if you have that. Exhausted availability. These are going to be really hard to get an order with these things on it scheduled for production. And there's a lot of wheels on here, so I don't even know what they're going to schedule. But the first one, exhaust availability, is the Dark Horse appearance package, the Mustang Night Pony package, the 20 by 9 inch premium painted aluminum wheel. I think that's on the premium trim level there. The 18 by 8 inch machine face aluminum wheel with the high gloss ebony black painted pockets. The 19 by 8.5 inch premier polished aluminum wheel. The 19 by 9 in the front, 9.5 in the rear, carbonized gray painted aluminum wheel. That's the one that's from the GT performance package. 19 by 9 front and 9.5 in the rear. Sinister bronze painted aluminum wheel. That's the one that would be included in the bronze appearance package when you order the GT performance package. And then the 19 by 9 in the front, 9.5 in the back, black painted aluminum wheel. That's the one that's going to be included in the Night Pony package when you order the GT performance package. So the GT performance package is struggling because of the wheels more than anything. And then the black painted roof is also exhaust availability. So, all right, there you go. Next is the 24 model year Escape. There's currently 171 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for all trim levels except for the base. They started the year with the base and then took that away on its fleet only option, or trim level, I should say. But you probably don't want it anyway. Active is a nice trim level. And then of the 171 orders that are in there, 7% of them are plug-in hybrid orders, 20% are active, and 30% are the ST line. And all those are within their capacities. So it shouldn't be a struggle if you have any of those. And they are scheduling this week for production weeks of April 29th through May 27th, which means you could get scheduled in any of those weeks. And then limit availability for the 19-inch rock metallic painted aluminum wheel. That's the one that's standard on the ST line and ST line Select. All right, next is the 24 model year Bronco Sport. Currently 87 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for all trim levels of the Bronco Sport. Of them, 34% of those 87 orders are Badlands, and 6% are freewheeling edition, by the way. So really you can tell that number really came down this week. So they did schedule some Badlands for production. All right, they are scheduled this week for main commit. Again, they'll schedule as long as the dealer has allocations. So what they do most weeks, last week was the first week, they try to schedule most of the dealer's allocations and then fill in with everything around that afterward. So the only way you probably get scheduled these weeks for some of these other vehicles is if a dealer has an allocation they didn't get used and they need to submit an order. And so last week was retail only. This week they'd start scheduling stock orders. So that's where that would come into play if they don't have a retail to fit what their configuration is. They're scheduled for the weeks of April 29th through May 27th. Let's just please note that we have started scheduling Badlands. So just mention that. Limit availability for the Heritage Edition. That's the first time we've been seeing that. Also for the Tech Package, which is optional on the Outer Banks. The Premium Package, which is optional on the Badlands. So you'd probably want to, if you're going to order a Badlands, you'd probably want to leave that Premium Package off, or it might take longer. That package, by the way, about 30% of the orders have that package on there, but their capacity is only 8%. That's why it's limited. The 17-inch carbonized gray, the high gloss wheel that's standard on the Big Ben, as well as the wheel that's standard on the Outer Banks, and the one from the Badlands are also limited availability. And then exhaust availability for the black appearance package. I don't think they're actually going to schedule that package this month. All right. For those that are watching the recording, my allergies have spiked up today. So, all right, 24 model year Ranger. There's currently 1,674 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for all trim levels, including the Raptor, as long as a dealer has an allocation. And we just found out, I think we're going to get an extra Raptor allocation. So if you want to put in an order, let us know. We are over MSRP on our Ranger Raptor right now. So unfortunately, it's just that's because we're getting we're getting all kinds of orders at that price range. That's why it's still there. If we wouldn't get one, then we will come down, of course. They are scheduling for the weeks of April 29th through May 27th. Says please submit retail or Raptor orders into Webdo to match your open allocation before Thursday 3/21. So we actually placed some stock ones since we don't have retail ones right now. But if you want to put a retail, we would scratch one of those for the retail order. Limited availability for the XLT Sport Appearance Package, the 17-inch gray painted aluminum wheel, and the advanced towing package. First time seeing any constraints on the Ranger. So there we go. So you can tell they're really scheduling those. All right, next is the 24 model year Bronco. There's currently only 3,220 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for all trim levels except Heritage and Heritage Limited. They're not available. Those are balanced out for right now. They are scheduling this week for the production weeks of April 29th through May 27th. Last week was mainly Raptor, Everglades, and Heritage Edition scheduling. So this will be the first week if a dealer has an allocation for those other retail orders other than specialties. So there you go. Best availability this week is all type of orders with the soft top. And then Badlands orders with Sasquatch package, believe it or not. So they need Badlands orders with Sasquatch this week. There you go. No availability this week at all on the Heritage Limited 4-door or 2-door. And then limited availability for the hard top and the dual top because it comes with the hard top, right? And then it's important here. It says Raptor orders will require a mix in the order bank of 70% optional beadlock, 30% the standard wheel, and 50-50 on the vinyl and leather. And we had our Raptor actually, I think it got scheduled last week, as well as our Heritage Limited got scheduled last week. So, all right. Next up, the 24 model year Maverick. There's currently 9,820 unscheduled retail orders. We are now under 10,000 for the first time I can remember. There you go. Order banks are open up for all trim levels, including the XL if you wanted to. I would not, but it is available. Ford would probably say, yeah, I think we can take that. Don't do it. If you want an XL, try to find one on a dealer lot at this point. Because if you're ordering for the first time now, it's going to be the same price as anything that comes in, unless your dealership's doing under MSRP or something. But there you go. They are scheduled for the weeks of April 29th through May 27th. It does say, please note okay. They are telling dealers if they have allocations and they don't have retail orders to put they're going to put some SIM orders in. So those are like basically stock orders in. Not for us because we have retail orders in there. All right. Best availability for the Maverick is XLT or Lariat orders with a 2.0 EcoBoost gas engine and the Tremor off-road package. Pretty cool truck. Try it out. All right. Limited availability for the black appearance package, which is optional on the XLT and Lariat. The tonneau pickup box cover hard trifold. You know what I believe on that. Take those off your orders. Let the dealership do it for you. Also, the tire that's available on the XL and XLT is also limited availability. I think that's your standard tire for the XL and XLT. So you can see Lariats probably get scheduled too right at this point. Exhaust availability for the 2.5 liter hybrid engine, as well as the XL Super Crew, whether it be front wheel drive or all wheel drive. And I'm going to talk about this in a little bit. I'm going to rant about this later in the episode because we're going to talk about that because configuration is really important. You have to have an order with the correct configuration of what they want to schedule. Even if you are party 3 and all your other orders are 10, 11, 12, all the way up to 19, if your configuration doesn't match that, it won't get scheduled. So you're going to see 10s get scheduled before an 03 because of that configuration. So, and we had that happen this week. So we're going to rant about that later. We had an XL that we needed to get scheduled because it was a reorder for us. And so it took one of our allocations and he didn't get scheduled. So Anyway, I guess that was the rant, but oh well, I'll talk about it more later. 24 or 25 model year Explorer. I don't know how many unscheduled orders there are in the order bank because the commodity report actually said 24 model year, but there's 335 unscheduled retail orders in 24. So I don't know if maybe they meant 25 and didn't change that. The order banks are open up for 25. I've had people mention that, said, why are they opening up 25 when they haven't even delivered any 24s? Well, they are now. We got a bunch this week. So they are building those. And that's because there's only a 4-month run on the 24 model year before moving to 25. So they got to schedule ahead of time. So placing the orders in the order bank, they're starting to schedule for 25 so they can start production and they can go from one model year to the next. So they are scheduling for the weeks of April 29th through May 27th. I don't know if that's right because I think, if I remember right, that it's going to be the last 3 weeks of May that they're gonna switch over. Limit availability for the 3.0 EcoBoost V6 engine with the auto start stop. That's your ST, and also your Platinum with a 3.0 because now that's optional on the Platinum. And then the Active series, believe it or not, whether it be 4-wheel drive or the rear-wheel drive, ST line 4-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, Platinum 4-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, and the Vapor Blue Metallic, believe it or not. Usually you don't see a color being a constraint, but there we go. All right. Next, 24 model year Expedition. They are currently 652 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Order banks are open up for 24 model year Expedition. We're going to talk about 25 model year on today's episode later. So 24 is open right now. They are scheduling this week for production weeks of April 29th through May 27th. The only thing on here is exhaust availability for the mahogany interior on that limited. And then moving on, 24 model year Mustang Mach-E. Currently only 20 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for all trim levels, including the GT and those 2 new packages on the GT. Some people are like, well, why would you order a 24? There's tons on dealer lots right now. Because there's some new trim levels like the Rally, right? If you want that, you got to order one, right? Or wait until the summer. They are scheduling this week for the weeks of May 6th through May 27th. Mine's being built the week of May 6th, which is pretty awesome, unless they move it. All right. Next is a 24 model year Super Duty. There's currently 20,643 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. That number doesn't seem like it's coming down very fast. The order banks are open up for the Super Duty right now, but I would advise if you're going to place an order, keep this in mind if you're looking at the upper luxury trims. King Ranch, 17% of the orders have the King Ranch trim on them, and the capacity is only 4%. Platinum, 23% of the orders are Platinum trim, and 5% is the capacity. And then limited, 14% of the orders are limited, and 2% is capacity. What's that mean? That means that there's more orders than what their capacity is. So it's going to take a while for people with a King Ranch Platinum Limited to get scheduled. The high output 6.7 liter as well, 50% of the orders have the high output motor in it, and the capacity is only 19.5%. So if you have any of those, it is going to be a struggle. So if you're going to place an order, think about that before placing that order. Now, they are scheduling this week for a Kentucky truck plant for the weeks of 4/15 through 5/6. So that's April 15th through the weeks of May 6th. And at the Ohio truck plant from the weeks of April 29th through May 6th. Does say very important. Oh, yeah. They are wanting 6.8 liter orders. So looking for F-250s, F-350 XLs with a 6.8 liter without the heavy duty alternator and the 5th wheel gooseneck. Both. So the standard heavy duty alternator is okay, but don't add that gooseneck prep package. And then also it says, and 7.3 liter pickup orders without the 5th wheel gooseneck hitch prep package. So that tells me there's a problem with that gooseneck hitch prep package. So you might want to think about taking that off your order if you have that. I know it's nice. If you leave it on, it'll just take longer probably, which is okay if you're okay with waiting. Also, please note that failure to put in 6.8 liter orders will result in SIMS creation. So they're making dealers put in 6.8 liter. They tried doing this to us. I said, you haven't put in your orders. We said, yeah, we did. And they're already scheduled. So you don't put any of those in for us. So sometimes you got to let them know what's going on there. 24 model year XL 6.8 liter gas Super Duty pickups with the excluded from the wholesale availability. So what they're telling dealers is that normally you don't want to have those because they'll sit on your lot for a while and take you up to like 4 months to just get them sold. They're giving those dealers an extra 120 before they start hitting you with any kind of fees on that. So that's why they're telling dealers, go ahead and put them in there. You'll have time to sell them. Also, it says we encourage the use of the Tough Bed spray and liner. So they're saying that they could take more orders with that. I still say don't do it, but it's up to you. Limit availability for the following items here: the limited trim, the fuel tank that's included with the 7.3 liter V8 engine, XL, XLT, or Lariat pickups or chassis cabs, F350, 450, 550, or F600s. And then also the these tires, the following, there's like 3 tires that's also limited availability: the 245/70R 19.5 G black sidewall tire that's standard on the chassis cab, F600 XL and XLT, as well as the 245/70R 19.5 black sidewall traction that's optional on the F600 XL and XLT, as well as the 225/70R 19.5 G black sidewall traction that's standard on the F450 with all wide frame wheelbases, it says. Also, limit availability on these following wheels: the 19-inch, the 17-inch forged polished aluminum with the bright hub covers, center ornaments, and such. It's standard on the Lariat and Platinum F350. It's optional on the XL and XLT F350. And then also the 17-inch forged polished aluminum wheel. The 4 extra wheels with the inner dualies are aluminum. So that's the option. That's tire option 64H, if you're confused on that. Also, the frame, GBK frame, that's available in the F350 two-wheel drive with the 7.3 diesel engine and the 145-inch dually or the single wheel. The 4x4 Dana axle that's available in the 450, 550, and 600. The max recline seats is also limited. So if you have that, that is going to be standard on the limited, optional on the Lariat, King Ranch, and Platinum. So if you have that Lariat, King Ranch, and Platinum, that's going to be a struggle. Limited, so they'll probably schedule them first because that's standard on those. The 203-inch wheelbase fuel tank with a low sulfur diesel fuel. And then the 5th wheel hitch kit. That's the hitch kit, not the prep package. It's optional on all pickup XL, XLT, Lariat, optional on King Ranch, Platinum, and Limited, F350 dually, and F450 pickup. And then the Pro Power on board, the 2 kilowatt one, that's optional on the XL, XLT, and Lariat. That's also limited availability. Now, moving on, 2 models left. 24 model year F-150. There's currently 6,522 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Order banks are open up currently. I'll go through something that's balanced out here. They are scheduled for the weeks of April 29th or May 6th. 24 model year F-150 early balance out for the 24 model year F-150 Heritage Edition. It says final order submissions will be due this Friday, 3/22. Want that Heritage Edition? Get it in there. March 15th, Ford amended all stock orders to remove the Pro Access tailgate removal code, option 63X. We're going to talk about that in the dealer news update. The Pro Access tailgate removal option is no longer to be available for order. So yes, that means it's ready. So somebody asked me last week, how long do you think it'll be? And I said, I didn't think it was going to be that long because I thought they were about ready for it. Well, here we go. It only lasted a week. Retail will not be amended by Ford. So if you have a retail order and you added that removal, go to your dealer and take that removal off if you want the Pro Access tailgate. If you don't, you're going to get the tailgate step instead on those. So dealers should contact these customers to determine their intents or interests in receiving the Pro Access tailgate. I'll go through more of that in the dealer news updates. And limit availability for the 3.5 hybrid engine, that power boost, and then limit availability for the 37 by 12.5 R17 black sidewall all-terrain tire. I think that's the one from the Raptor 37. So there you go. 24 model year Transit. Currently 6,324 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Order banks are open up for all trim levels and configurations. They are scheduled for the week of May 6th. There's an opportunity to schedule some medium roof vans with a GTDI engine and the all-wheel drive configuration. They said Trail is not currently scheduling right now. And then limit availability for the all two-wheel drives. And then also for the Sync 4 with AM/FM stereo with the 12-inch display, and then the AM/FM stereo with the 4-inch multi-function display, Bluetooth and dual USB ports. Option 58U and 58B. So there you go. All right. That's all of our notes for that. So again, drop your comments down below if you have any questions. If you're watching this on the recorded Wednesday live, if you're with us here live right now, let's go to questions.